in, on, and at. Preposition of time, the most widely used in our spoken, written English and in our daily life. And we are confused where we have to use in, on, and at. Often we misspelled and often we place them in the wrong position. But we have a time train. Have you ever watched a time train? We are going to make this concept clear. So let's get started without any further delay. And what is the concept of at, on, and in? You will see them. I have divided it in the form of train, and the shortest, the smallest portion, the smallest section is given to at. At is always used with specific time. With specific time when you have to mention hours. An amazing thing is that hours come first and hours make days and days makes weeks. So first of all we have to mention hours. With hours with specific time you have to mention at. For example, at 5 p.m., at 6 o'clock, at 7 a.m. Whenever there is the mentioned time of hours, 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., 7 in the morning, whatever is the time, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 7 o'clock, 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 6 o'clock, 4 a.m., 4 p.m., 4 o'clock. Whenever hours are mentioned, there is specific time we have to mention, we have to use at. Only with hours, only with specific time you have to mention at. And when hours combine together, days and date come together. Days and date, the both things start with D. Days and date. With days and date we use on Saturday, on Sunday, on Monday, on Friday, on Tuesday, on my birthday, on Independence Day, because birthday or Independence Day always come with day, and with date, on 14 August, on 17 July, whatever is the date. With date, with day we use on. With date and with day we use on. For example, Saturday, my birthday, Independence Day, Freedom Day. So whenever there is the mentioning of day, D-A-Y, day, we have to use on. And whenever there is date, June 27, we have to place on. With hours at, with day and date, on. And when days come together, we have weeks, we have months, we have decades, we have centuries. We have centuries. So with all weeks, months, seasons, centuries, decades, we use in. For example, 2 weeks, July. And if it is decade, if it is year, 1980. And what is decade? Decade means 10 years. 90s, 80s, in 70s, in 60s, in 50s. So whenever there is decade time, we have to mention in. When there is centuries, 1900, 1800, 1700, 1600, we have to mention in. Whether these are weeks, months, years, decades, and centuries. But listen, there are few exceptions. For example, with afternoon, morning, evening, and with minutes, we use in the morning, in the afternoon, in the noon, and in. I am coming in just 2 minutes. In just 2 minutes. So with in the morning, in the afternoon, in the noon, and with minutes we use in. With hours at, with date and day on, with weeks, months, years, decades, centuries, in the afternoon, in the morning, in the noon, and with minutes also in. So we have a special exercise, we will solve this, and after this your concept of in, on, and at preposition of time will be cleared forever. For example, Independence Day. With days we use on. Days and days, date on. Friday, again day, on. Time in hours. Whenever there is specific time in hours, we use at 4:30. March 9th, there is the mentioning of date. With date and day, we use on. Winter, seasons. With seasons, we use in. With months, we use in. With hours, whether it is 6 p.m., whether it is 6 a.m., whether it is 6 o'clock. With time, specific time, with hours, we use at. With centuries, 2024, 2021, 2000, 1900, 1700. With centuries, we use in. And again, 14 July 1923. You have to, it is a question for you. You have to mention what we should apply here. Quaid-e-Azam was born. So here is an indication of date and also centuries, but we will keep in our mind date. So we will place on. Year, in, century, in 16th century, 17th century, 18th century. Summer season, again in, and the next last option is Sunday. Now it's your turn to reply me in comment section with day what we have to apply, whether it is at, on or in. It's your turn. I am waiting for your comments. So if you like the video, kindly share and subscribe it with your fellows and with your other students so that they can get benefit out of these videos. These kind of videos are very informative because we become perplexed and confused where we have to place in, at and on. With this positive note, I end this video. Till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.